280 million tonnes of plastic manufactured each year worldwide, with about 3.5 million pieces entering the ocean daily.
The commercial production of the world's modern plastics began in the mid-1930s. Their unique properties allowed them to be easily moulded to suit many needs. They can be strong and cheap to produce in bulk. It is these reasons plastic has become incredibly popular in our modern life. Due to their success, the world production of plastics has been increasing at a rapid rate. Since 2010, production has risen by 4% per year.
The majority of plastics entering the oceans are one-use items such as plastic bags, straws, milk jugs and bottle caps. Despite their long life, plastics are only used for very brief periods of time.
If we want to have a marine environment that we can continue to enjoy without being overwhelmed by plastic rubbish, as a global community we need to act to stem the flow of plastics into our waterways, and force industry to change their manufacturing methods and encourage use of natural alternatives to plastic.
Microplastics are seen on beaches around the world every day. Microplastics get into our oceans and on our beaches because of three main processes: washing machines, personal care products, and the degradation of plastic litter. Plastic that is found in our oceans break down over time slowly. This process takes multiple years, but eventually large plastic pieces can break down into microplastics. These particles wash up on our beach after their breakdown from the sun and the roughness of the ocean. If their final destination is not on the beach, it is in the bodies of sea life such as turtles, seals, and birds. Sea life mistakes these particles for food and ends up eating them. Another way the plastic enters our ocean happens when doing the everyday task, laundry. The polyethylene fibers that are used to make clothes are excreted in washing machines and end up in our ocean. The fibers, like microplastics, are hard to see unless under a microscope. They may not be noticeable to the naked eye, but they are there and are causing damage. These fibers have small surface areas compared to microplastics, and therefore organochlorines, such as PCBs, would not sorb to them easily as plastic. But they do cause a threat to small sea life such as zooplankton. The fibers get tangled up inside or around the plankton and can kill them. The third cause of plastic in our oceans, microbeads, have an easier time getting into our beaches compared to litter and fibers because they are made to be discarded into the sink after use. On the other hand, plastic and litter that ends up on our beach is because of the simple carelessness of people. Microbeads are small plastic pieces that are used in personal care products to exfoliate the skin. They are easily put into our ocean because they are washed down the sink, bypass the wastewater treatment, and therefore end up in our oceans. Microbeads are found in a lot of well-known personal care products such as Neutrogena, Clean & Clear, and Clearasil. It is even found in Crest toothpaste. Not only do the beads from toothpaste get put into our ocean, they can build up in our gums and cause bacteria to grow. Researchers study microplastics by collecting sand samples, taking them back to the lab for analysis, and observing them under microscopes. The plastic particles have to be looked at under high magnitude microscope because they are so small. On a beach in Stanley Park in Vancouver, BC, researchers collected plastic off the beach for 1 year. This is what they collected. It was even able to be color coordinated.
The plastic beads seep into our waterways and cause lots of damage to natural habitats. As mentioned before, most plastics do not break down easily, so their consequences and effects are long-lasting. The first of these consequences is simply that they are washing up onto our shorelines. These microplastics range from anywhere between 5 millimeters to less than 1 millimeter. And sometimes they are so small that they look like grains of sand on the beach. This means that they are also nearly impossible to see in our waterways. Microplastics are also a large part of the Pacific garbage patch, where thousands of pounds of debris have been swept together into one pile of junk. The mechanism behind this is called oceanic drift, and the movement of currents through the ocean. Several of these currents come together, bringing with them the garbage they've collected along the way. Even when microplastics are not part of this island of garbage, they can be harmful to animals in other ways. More and more animals are washing up on the shores with stomachs full of plastics. When the animals such as birds eat these plastics, they The pieces often clog their digestive systems or simply get caught in their throats, causing them to choke. In some animals, for example shrimp, microplastics have been found in their tissues by way of the digestive tract. In addition to this, these microplastics can cause further harm by the chemicals they carry with them. Plastics are lipophilic, or fat-loving molecules, which means that they are not water-soluble. This also means that they attract and hold on to chemicals that are in the water. These chemicals are then absorbed into the bodies of the animals, which consume the microplastics. The chemicals absorbed by these plastics are either persistent, meaning they don't break down or leave the body easily, and often stay in the fatty tissues of these animals. Or they can be pseudo-persistent, meaning that they may readily leave the body, but continual exposure will leave the animal vulnerable to the negative effects of such chemicals. Many of these chemicals have been connected to increased rates of cancer and are known endocrine disruptors, meaning they interfere with the organism's hormones. Furthermore, the effects of these chemicals are not limited to the animal that consumes them, but can travel up the food chain to humans through a process called bioaccumulation.
Plastic microbeads are found in a wide array of personal care products, including toothpaste and face wash. They show up in toothpaste as abrasives to remove plaque, but mostly as decoration in order to add color. In face washes, the small pieces of plastic are used as exfoliants. Each product can contain up to 350,000 microbeads that get flushed down the drain and flow through wastewater treatment into our water systems. Here you can see the plastic beads taken out of each product. So how can you tell if a product contains these plastic microbeads? The most common plastic used is polyethylene, but also look for the words polyethylene terephthalate, polymethyl methacrylate, nylon, and polypropylene. Another easy way to determine if the product you are using has microbeads is to download the free app Beat the Bead. You can scan the barcode of your product and it will instantly tell you if the product has the small plastic beads. The app was developed by the Plastic Soup Foundation, the leading force behind banning of microbeads. None of this means that you have to give up exfoliating scrubbers. There are many other alternatives to microbeads. Look for biodegradable alternatives such as peach pit, apricot shells, and cocoa beans. Burt's Bees, St. Ives, Palmer's, Kiss My Face, Johnson & Johnson, and Garnier all produce exfoliating products that use only biodegradables. IKEA has also pledged to only carry products that do not contain microbeads. You can even make your own exfoliant using products that you probably have around the house. Baking soda cleans and exfoliates while still being gentle on the skin. Using lemon can help to loosen dead skin cells. Hemp has a coarse texture and antibacterial properties. Granulated sugar contains glycolic acid and can become an excellent scrub. Coffee can also be used as an exfoliator, and for more sensitive skin, oatmeal is a good moisturizing alternative. If you have a half-used bottle of product containing microbeads, fear not. There are many places you can donate them where they will be used for research or awareness. One photographer, Chris Jordan, is well known for his art highlighting mass consumption. In this picture, he illustrates the number of plastic cups used on airplanes in the United States every 6 hours. 1 million. He is currently asking for people's half-used bottles of products containing microbeads in order to make a collection that will raise awareness about microbead pollution.
In conclusion, plastic, big or small, is detrimental to our oceans and the marine life that lives in them. It also has properties that allows chemicals to travel up the food chain and affect humans. So please, pledge to not trash our oceans, and as always, refuse, reuse, and recycle.